30 minutes of friends talk about everything that matters to women. Welcome to the lounge.
Today, I found the perfect opportunity to have a great friend join us, Haya Al Gharib, who usually takes care of skin and is a skin esthetician. So, Haya, welcome to our gathering
Thank
today.
you so much for having me. Thank you.
We're really happy to have you here. Honestly, we're all excited.
Yes,
very
glad
to
have you.
Definitely.
I'm sure you know more than what you actually think.
I hope so, because the information keeps on getting updated, and I'm like, I can't keep up. So we're so happy to have you here to answer some of the questions.
Definitely.
Exactly. So the biggest question that I think all of us have had, and we have discussed so many times in our gathering, is what should we do with skincare and treatments?
Well, skincare always depends on what are the things that you're used to since you were a teenager.
Yeah.
If you're used to taking care of your skincare from a very young age and you just got into the habit, then no worries. You're probably going to do this in your 20s and 30s and 40s. The most important thing is to know your skin type, is to know what your skin needs, what are the skin problems that you're having and going through. So that is very important.
Definitely.
So although we start learning about what our skin needs in terms of skincare, and of course we're gonna get into that a bit later on, but we hear about a lot of treatments all the time, ladies, and we have also spoken about that. So there's different things like Dermapen, CO2, different peels.
Yeah.
So many.
True.
What should we be getting done, and how do we know what's suitable for us?
To know what's suitable is you have to go to a specialist, obviously. The specialist is going to know what is suitable for your face. But it's important to research what are the options out there. Even if you do go to a doctor or a specialist and they give you the treatment plan, it's important also to kind of like ask around.
Right.
Ask your friends what they've had. Take feedback from people that you know. I don't recommend doctor shopping. Like if you don't like this doctor's opinion, you want to go to another one and another one and another one, and then you're left with all these mixed opinions. That's just gonna let you be confused. So it's better to research, ask friends and family, and then go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Trust your physician. Trust your whatever your physician says. Take the first step and just make sure that you know all the side effects, all the follow-up treatments, how many treatments am I supposed to get, and what is likely the income, what is likely the outcome of these treatments, like, so you have a managed expectation.
Yeah.
Because some people get into like having 2-3 treatments and they're thinking that their acne scars that they've had for 15 years is just gonna magically go away.
Disappear out of nowhere.
Definitely.
But what about like hydrofacials? Because people keep telling me we be doing it like once a month, twice a month, and I'm like, why do y'all keep doing it? And I've done it once, and it was like whatever. And I've done it the second time, my skin got irritated. I got acne everywhere. It was a disaster.
Wow.
But they keep telling me you should do it. It's like it's very important to clean your face, whatever. I'm like, isn't it like a cleanser or like what is it? Exfoliator is enough. So like, or a scrub, you know what I mean? So I just want to understand that. Yeah.
How often should you get a facial is a question that I get all the time. And honestly, it could be every month. It could be every a couple of months, but I don't recommend going more than 3 to 4 months without getting a facial. It's because the type of facial that you're getting is very important. Are you getting a facial that is done through a machine? The person that is doing the facial, are they doing the extractions correctly? Are they using the correct products on your skin? These are all important questions to ask. Does it take place of your skin products that you have at home? Not really, because what it does is it actually exfoliates the skin to the point where whatever skincare you use at home is being absorbed much more efficiently
Nice.
after the facial.
Definitely.
And therefore you see better results when using your skincare when not doing the facial.
Okay, definitely.
That makes total sense.
Yes, definitely. I know we've talked about, how getting like hydrofacials or let's say specific lasers, but how important is it, since you've mentioned like a skincare routine, how important is it to have like, let's say, a designated skincare routine that you go by every day? And are facials or, lasers enough and you can just, exclude or skip your skincare routine. How is the importance of having an actual skincare routine that you follow?
I see what you're saying. So whatever treatments that you're getting in the clinic, even let's say a facial, you're getting a facial every month. That doesn't mean that you should just quit your skincare, because at the end of the day, it's 1 day out of 30 days. And the rest of the 29 days, we want to make sure that you're actually keeping up with the good results that you got from the facial, therefore continuing to use your skincare at home and using the correct skincare. This is what's going to make a big difference. And sometimes people do get confused on what kind of skincare to get when they're shopping.
I'm tired of it. I
Yeah.
went from Korean to like everything African.
Exactly.
I'm
Genuinely,
glad you
because I'm like,
mentioned
there's a
that.
full list, and I'm like, I'm going here, I'm going there. So like, choosing the right one,
It's difficult.
seems
It's
impossible.
difficult, yeah. And sometimes it's a matter of trial and error. Sometimes you try something and you love and you never want to get rid of, and then sometimes something that was recommended by your physician, by your friends, by your family, and it just doesn't work on your skin.
What if your skin gets irritated and then what? I'd be scared of
Exactly.
that. That's why I don't want to try things.
It's temporary. So skin irritations, it sometimes, I'll tell you like a very fun fact. You could be using a product for months and years and then suddenly like not use it for a couple of months and then reuse it again. It might irritate your skin.
True.
Okay.
And you could guess what might be the reason.
Yeah.
Because it
You
worked
do.
at some point.
Yeah.
And then it
Exactly.
no longer works anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends, for example, when they have maybe a sensitive skin barrier, something is going on with their skin, they're experiencing acne or whatever it is, I always hear them say, I need a facial, my skin is tired. Do you think that is the right time to get a facial, or should we usually go to the clinic when our skin has calmed down? What do you think we should be doing? in that
I
case?
definitely recommend when your skin calms down,
Yeah.
because sometimes, again, when you're doing a facial, we try as much as possible to pick the correct products to use that are customized for your skin type and for your skin issues. But it might happen where your skin reacts in a kind of not really desirable way with the products that we have at the clinic. It could happen. So that's why I always tell my brides, some people that are having specific occasions or interviews like now, just do not get a facial prior to whatever event you have, the day of or 2 days before, because you never know. You might get a reaction. I'm not scared of the reaction. The reaction is just the way of saying that the skin doesn't tolerate what you're applying to.
Exactly.
So it's normal, and I can give you some creams that'll knock off the irritation right away, and it's a good thing because it's gonna tell us that this is not good for you.
Yeah.
This doesn't work for you, and you will always know.
Yeah.
So don't be scared of skin reactions. They are a normal process, and it goes away usually within like a few days. And no, go for it.
But
Go
how,
for it,
like,
yeah.
what time are we talking? Like, how long or when is exactly should we get the facial? If we're talking about, we have a specific event, for example, is it like a month prior? Is it a week?
I would say a week.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
I would say.
I'm so sorry. You're the professional.
No, it's okay. But I would like to know why do you think the opposite?
I don't know because
Can I interfere?
Yeah.
I feel like she's such a bridezilla. She's gonna get everything done like a month or two before,
That is
like
so
a year
true.
before. I'm worried.
She has a point. So when it comes to injectables, I don't know if you can say the injectables, like Botox filler.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
So Botox and filler, if you want to get Botox and filler, you should definitely have it at least a month before your important event. If we're talking about facials, then I would say a week is fine.
Yes.
Dermapen, 2 weeks. Peels, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Definitely. I know, girls, the conversation is getting, very intriguing, but let's take this short break and we will be back.
Since we've been talking about facial treatments and all of that, of course we need to protect our skin after with like an SPF because the sun be taking over in Kuwait. Yeah. So of course we need protection. So do you think like the SPF is really important for our skin, or does it really matter? Because for me, I've heard so many people, I'll be honest, I have some friends that are like, you're black, you don't really need an SPF. But I was still wearing, you know what I mean? So is it actual like a thing that would protect our skin, or is it like, it's just a...
So you mentioned a good point.
Yeah.
The darker the skin, the less it is susceptible to sun damage.
Okay.
So people that have lighter skin are more prone to getting sunburns than people with color.
Yeah.
And it's just the way that the melanin works in our bodies. It's just a defense mechanism, basically.
Yeah.
Darker skin tone people have more melanin in their skin, so therefore the protection of their skin is higher than someone that is fair. SPF, sun protecting factor. It means sun protecting factor. It comes in 15, 30, 50, sometimes 100.
Right.
And what this number means, it's how many minutes it's actually protecting you when you are outside and being in the sun.
So the number resonates to the minutes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
never
just
realized
how
that.
many minutes is just going to protect you.
Oh, I've been doing things wrong.
So it is important, obviously, especially in Kuwait, like you mentioned. But there's another thing in Kuwait that I always tell them is that we are not in the sun,
Yeah,
That's
true.
especially in summer.
Yeah.
True.
That doesn't mean that you shouldn't apply your SPF when you go out. You should, because you don't know how sensitive your skin is, especially after treatments such as Dermapen and facials, and your skin becomes more photosensitive. Means that it is susceptible again into having sunburns, into being sensitized even more from the sun. So in order to prevent that, it's always a good idea to wear your SPF before you go out or under your makeup, and to always, regardless of what the number is, reapply it every 2 to 3 hours. If you're a girl and you apply makeup, obviously you're not going to take off your makeup at work and reapply it again just to refresh your SPF. So now in the market we see that there are sprays that you can use on top of your makeup, powders, so many options nowadays. So there is no reason to not wear your SPF.
Do these
Definitely.
actually work? I'm dying
They do.
to know, honestly,
They do.
because I was gonna purchase like this translucent, apparently,
Yeah.
powder
Yeah.
that you just apply over your
Definitely.
makeup.
It's mineral. It's mineral
Yeah.
makeup, so it definitely creates this barrier that's going to protect you from the sunlight.
Okay,
That is
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, this actually brings me to my next question, which is like, how do you actually choose the right SPF for you, like the suitable SPF that works for your skin? Because in the market there are different, let's say, textures and types of SPFs, and I've heard there is like an SPF that is called a chemical SPF and a physical SPF.
Yes.
So how do you get to choose the right one for you, like the one that is suitable for your
Right.
skin type?
The difference between chemical and physical is one is stronger than the other. The chemical absorbs the sunlight and kind of breaks it down into the skin. The physical reflects the sunlight, so it creates more of like a harsher barrier between you and the sun. So usually physical sun protections are recommended for people that have undergone treatments such as lasers, and they need something very strong to protect them from the sunlight. Chemical is what we all wear on a daily basis. It's good. I'm not saying it's not. It's still good, but there's a pros and cons with each of them. The stronger the SPF is, the more that it could likely clog your pores.
Yeah.
So people that are acne prone might have a problem with that, especially if they're undergoing treatment, and then you need to tell them that, hey, we're going to prescribe you something that might even clog your pores now. Their skin might not really like it for a few weeks until they recover from the treatment. But they both protect against the sunlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they both work.
They both do work.
Definitely.
Yes.
I truly believe it's a trial and error, and I'm saying that after going through so much drama with SPF. Honestly, now we're having more SPF awareness in Kuwait, but for me, when I was a student, there was zero awareness when it came to SPF. We thought we didn't need it and all of these things, till I went and studied in one of the most countries that is like they have a lot of skin cancer basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So SPF there is a whole situation.
It's a must. Yeah.
There's ads everywhere, you know, kids going to school,
Yeah.
there has to be SPF packed in their bags.
Okay.
And that's when I started exploring when it comes to SPF. And I had a few situations, some of them would burn my eyes, for example. So that was uncomfortable. As soon as there's water on my face, it would get uncomfortable. Some don't layer well with makeup, which I think is an issue a lot of girls deal with, having a white cast or even pilling under makeup.
Yeah.
And then others, as you mentioned, Haya, could really anger our skin.
Yeah.
So it could sometimes even burn. So we need to try a lot of them and just ask our friends sometimes, honestly. Like that was
Exactly.
my case.
Definitely.
Exactly.
And I want to like add to that question. Like it's not a question; it's
Yeah.
more of a statement. But it's more of: is there any ingredients in the SPF that I need to be aware of? Because the thing is, I remember I had a dermatologist. She was saying there's this great product. It's great. It's lovely, and I use it. I don't like it, but it was all right on my skin.
Yeah.
Later on, everyone started like taking it out of the stores. They were saying it's really bad for your skin and it has like cancerous ingredients. You're not supposed to use it,
wow.
and it's a famous product. You know, it's like famous brand.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that I need to check, like ingredients wise, that I need to be aware of to save from that kind of SPF?
Well, not really. I would
Yeah.
say not really, because most of the SPF, if you can find them in a legit pharmacy, they're legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like rarely that there's going to be an ingredient there that could be harmful to you. It could be not skin friendly to you, but it could work to someone else.
Yeah,
So
true.
again, with the trial and error. But if I would say if there's an ingredient that has been red flagged around that it's bad for you or it could be cancerous, this is obviously major news. And
I went through it.
and it-
I was because it's a famous brand.
yeah. And in the field, we see it happen every like a couple of years.
Exactly.
And this happens is when you have a new ingredient in the market and they test it out and it looks good on papers and then they, market it and it's in the market now. And then 10, 15 years after it, they start to find out as like any medication. This is how, medicine is formulated.
makes sense.
Sometimes after years of being in the market, they found out like, oh,
Yeah,
it could be
that is
cancerous.
true.
It could. So this applies also to skincare. We never know.
Makes a
They
lot
could
of
they could
sense.
come up with something after 10 years, and this is something that we use now every day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So as you're trying to say that ingredients do not usually matter every time, like by checking a product, because I know nowadays, especially with, let's say, people being more aware, they're starting to, let's say, label or notice any product that clogs the pores or like, let's say, the pores wouldn't be able to breathe. So does that also relate to an SPF that can actually clog your pores and cause,
It could.
more problems?
Yeah. It could. That's why even when buying an SPF, you can ask the pharmacist, is it oily skin friendly?
Okay.
Is it dry skin friendly? Some SPFs have moisturizers in them, so they are really good for people that have dry skin. Sometimes if they do have moisturizer, they could be really oily to someone that have oily skin. So always ask your pharmacist, or again, do a little bit of research. You can easily find out these things now online
Yeah.
to see if it's like you don't need to ask ChatGPT, does it work for me? It's not gonna answer you, but you could make a good guess if it does work for you with the ingredients listed, just to see if it works for your skin type.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, as someone that has learned to use SPF all the time, and I do really use it religiously, honestly, even if I'm out in the sun for 5 minutes, I make sure I have it. But I also have a tanning addiction. So it is a very interesting combination, to be honest. Like, I'm applying my SPF, but I'm also doing the most to be in the sun.
Yeah.
So beach, even artificial sun, I will try anything and everything. And unfortunately, I know that there's a lot of negative things associated with tanning. So wrinkles, which I'm scared of, right? And even sun damage, like sunspots.
True.
What are the early signs of sun damage, and what can we do about it?
So the early signs sometimes don't show up. And this is something I learned in school. They really wanted to scare us from the sun. So they had us put our heads in a purple box, and this purple box kind of shows the damage that you have in your skin that didn't surface yet. And we were in our early 20s, and people who tanned significantly had much more hyperpigmentation underneath their skin that they don't even have any signs of yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And usually the early signs, as soon as you hit the 30,
Wow.
they start to show up. And then they start to show up even more after 40. So it's kind of accumulative.
Exactly.
So scary.
It makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
honestly, because I started seeing the signs.
Yeah.
Well, this is getting a bit scary for
Yes.
me, so let's take a quick break.
Okay, so talking about sun protection, being a makeup artist and just loving the whole world of makeup, I never go out without applying my SPF. So I'm very consistent about my SPF. But sometimes, especially changing from one SPF to another, sometimes I tend to notice that some SPFs create like a white cast, or the makeup doesn't tend to hold for a long period of time. I would notice like after 2 hours my makeup is moving, and sometimes I feel like my skin is oilier than other days, and it all goes back to the SPF I used. So how can I work the SPF with applying makeup, especially during the heat and
During
going out
summer?
for work
Yeah.
in the morning?
Yeah. My best advice is, because the easy answer is buy an SPF that is compatible with your skin type.
Okay.
But sometimes that's not that easy. So the best second good thing that I would, advise you is to buy a SPF that has coverage.
Okay.
Right.
That works as a foundation too.
Okay.
They call them, I don't know, I forgot the name.
A tinted moisturizer?
A tinted SPF.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. A tinted SPF. And they come, before it was almost impossible to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now in each brand, you almost always
They're
have
everywhere.
a tinted SPF. And this works better, and it lasts you longer throughout the day. And most of them, I would say, don't get shiny.
Okay.
Most of them don't get shiny throughout the day. They don't make you look oily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is my second best advice I could
Okay.
give.
Definitely. So let's say a tinted SPF.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely. Hopefully, we'll take that advice,
Yeah.
ladies. But I want to address the elephant in the room when it comes to skincare and our skin. For us, I know we do so much. So, skincare at home and going to clinics and just trying to take care of our skin in any way possible. But when it comes to men, they do basically nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Minimal.
Things are
Nothing.
changing
Very
now.
minimal.
Things are changing.
Yeah, don't they have like a skin routine?
But like 99.9%
Yeah.
are just washing their face.
Yeah. I agree.
And they have beautiful skin.
Yeah.
But how come?
Yeah,
I'm
what is
actually
going on
wondering.
there?
Because men are born with bigger pores than women.
Okay.
Okay.
And the bigger your pores are, the more your skin secretes natural oils. And the natural oils lubricate the skin. And therefore, they're always hydrated
Okay.
And like
naturally.
Naturally. Okay.
and why are we like trying to like minimize the pores in our faces? I just don't get it. You know what I mean?
Because they don't mind being shiny. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't mind having an oily face.
Okay. Very nice.
I feel
Actually.
like crying right now.
Yeah. Actually, this brings me to my next question is mentioning that men tend to have like no routine or like a very minimal or short routine. And us as women, we have, a very long routine that includes, let's say, a toner, a serum, an essence, a moisturizer, so many things. Do we actually need as much as like all of these steps in order to get like the perfect skin? Or is, let's say, especially for a night routine, is like a serum and a moisturizer more than enough, and does it work? Or do I have to, layer my skincare and then wait for 2 minutes and have another layer? Does that actually work? Or if like a short routine will do the job?
Yeah. So it can go either way.
Okay.
it's better to have more products. You will see the benefits.
Okay.
You will definitely see the benefits. If you use more products, if your skin routine consists of a 7-step routine,
Okay.
then if you're into it and if you don't mind it, you're definitely gonna see the outcome. Is it enough? No, it's a question, or is it enough? Yeah, if you use a cleanser and a moisturizer, maybe an SPF in the morning, it's gonna do the job.
Right.
But the more products that you use, the better results that you're gonna get.
What about like
This is my opinion.
what about the facial masks that you wear at home, like the sheets, you know?
Yeah.
They all work.
Really?
They all work. They all, you can never say enough,
Enough
It's just
moisture.
the more you do, the better. And if you're using the right skin products that are right for your skin type, you're going to definitely see the results.
Yeah.
It's never going to go to waste.
Yeah, okay.
I think
I'll
that's
try it.
really great. So if it's not doing any harm,
Yeah.
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 like why not?
What about like Korean skincare? I've been talking about it for a really long time. My
Yeah.
cousin, she's been saying that it's been wonderful, but then I have on the other side, my friends are saying it's actually doing more harm. It doesn't work with our kind of skin. So
Yeah.
do you see any difference with people using it?
Honestly, I'm not very familiar with Korean
Yeah.
skincare. It's just because I studied in the US, and
Right.
back when I was studying, Korean skincare was unheard of
Yeah,
in the
so
US.
true. Now
It was
it's a trend.
unheard of, yeah. Now lately, the past year or two, I've been hearing about it more.
Yeah.
I can't find a lot of it here. Like you would have to actually make an effort to order it, and when you flip the card, when you flip the box,
You
It's
can't
all in
read.
Korean.
it's all in Korean, so I can't really know what I'm putting into my skin.
so true.
So it's just a lot of work to just use skincare. You have to go through their website and see the ingredients and then translate the page.
so true.
So I'm so sorry, but I can't really give you a
it's
good
alright because
answer.
I'm like I've been seeing it everywhere. There's like one store maybe in Kuwait, and I'm
Yeah.
like, should I trust it?
Yeah.
Because I want like the glassy,
Yes.
glossy skin.
Well, the thing is,
I want to look like a glazed donut. The way you said it the last time, I love it.
in Korea, they have really beautiful skin.
That's true.
I mean, Korean women, they have one of the best skin types in the world. Poreless skin, it's porcelain. So when they use these products, these products are obviously going to give them more hydration, more like luminosity, like a glowy effect. But in terms of actually treating skin problems like hyperpigmentation or scarring or I don't know. I haven't seen anyone in Korea advertise for an acne scar cream. They all advertise for glassy skin,
Exactly.
but they already have glassy skin.
so true.
So
Honestly, I was watching this video that was saying that the glassy skin is basically the effect of the product on your skin.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
what I was thinking too.
Exactly.
Do you think it's just, the layering of all the products,
Yeah.
or is it something we can actually get? Because I know I tried the products and I didn't see much.
Really?
So what did not irritate me didn't do anything different for me either. So I don't know.
Mostly they're derived from natural ingredients, Korean skincare. And again, off air we were talking about this.
Yes.
My personal opinion is that I am pro anything that is medicated, anything that has been studied in the lab for a while,
Okay.
more than natural homeopathic ingredients. And this is only me, just because I like quick, fast results. I don't like to wait 2 months or 3 months for a moisturizer to kick in.
Yes.
So that's why I like,
Definitely.
products that are sold in the
Well,
pharmacy.
I feel like we have tired out Haya today with all our questions, to be completely honest. But thank you so much with helping us
absolutely
understand
welcome.
our skin
Thank you.
and our skincare.
Definitely. We were glad to have you here with us
Thank you.
today.
You've been really phenomenal.
You're
So
very
thank
nice
you
girls.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.